Hey friends, welcome to my live, and if you happen to be watching later, welcome to my replay. I'm glad that you were able to join me this evening. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. If you happen to be looking for inexpensive, easy to clean DIYs, then you happen to be in the right place. So stay tuned for a fun and very easy project. Once you hop on, say hi in the comments. Tell me where you are watching from. Also, if you wouldn't mind spreading the chalk love all around Facebook or YouTube, tag your crafty friends, hit any of those buttons that you feel appropriate to hit. I do want to let you know that I am streaming online with a platform called StreamYard. So I'm live in 3 locations this evening. I'm live on my Facebook business page, I'm live on my YouTube channel, and I'm also live in my private Facebook group. I tell you that in case you hear me refer to a comment that you don't see in your feed, that viewer may be watching and commenting from a different platform. Also, if you are watching from my private Facebook group, if you wouldn't mind giving StreamYard permission to use your profile name and pic, by clicking the permission link in the description of the video. That way you show up under your name in my comments and not Facebook user, and I know who to say hi to. Speaking of saying hi, let's go to the comments. I see that Stacia is on. Welcome. I also see that Jason is watching from the other side of the door. And with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera so you can see what we are working on this evening. If you're new to Couture, I just want to let you know that Couture specializes in silkscreen reusable transfers. These transfers are adhesive backed, so they are sticky on one side. And anywhere you see this white, or as I start using it, it will be clear. That is a silkscreen mesh material. And like I just mentioned, these are reusable. And you can use them up to about 8 to 12 times, depending on how well you take care of them. And because I want to put these transfers back on the backer sheet when I'm done cleaning, I want to make sure that I know which side is the back side. So I am writing the name of the transfer pieces on the back. That way I know where to return them to once I'm done cleaning. For right now, I'm going to leave, well, and you'll notice I put 4 different names on here. So I know that when I'm done cleaning this transfer that this is the back side. And so I know to return the transfer to this side. So if you've ever tried to peel off a sticker that you put on a piece of paper, that's similar to how it works when you put your backer sheet on the wrong side of the paper, on the backer sheet. You'll also notice that this transfer has white suggested cut lines. Now you're welcome to cut your transfer apart however you prefer, but these are the suggested cut lines to cut these in pieces. You can cut your transfer into 4 different pieces if you would so choose, but for right now I'm going to leave it intact. I want to leave my backer sheet intact, so I'm going to pull up. Sometimes it's easier said than done. I'm going to pull up one side of my transfer. Good golly. There. So I've lifted this portion of my transfer up off of the backer sheet, and I'm just going to use my transfer trimmers, and I'm literally going to score across that cut line. So I have cut 2 pieces apart, and I will do the same to these smaller pieces. So again, I'm going to trim and score the map marker. And then I'm going to score this little piece away from this larger piece. So there you go. So I've got that cut. And we're going to put this away for just a little bit. So I'm going to show you how I'm treating my board. So this is my infamous 5-gallon paint sticks that I love to use. Although I did chop the handle piece off of the paint stick, so I just have a flat end on each side of the wood. So I have pre-stained, well, I faux stained this. I just trying to do what I can off camera so my lives aren't very long. And I also cut out a little piece that matches the mile marker, or the little map marker. I cut it out on my jigsaw. And I've already stained this side and the sides. So I just wanted to show you how I did this faux stain treatment. If you haven't ever faux stained with watered down acrylic paint, I'm just going to show you quickly how I do that. It's one of my favorite ways to use a faux stain treatment because it dries quickly. There's no fumes. And I can do it down in because there's no fumes, I can do it in my basement and I don't have to go outside. Which, if you live in central Kansas, you understand that concept because it's Satan's armpit right now outside. So I just use any kind of dark paint. This is Burnt Umber by Deco Art. I've also used raw umber in some of the other paint lines. And then I just put a little tiny amount of black into my brown. I don't know if you can see that. But don't mix it. Don't mix it. I just kind of want to marble that black paint. But I don't prefer to mix it because it kind of gives that some parts will be a brown and then some parts will be a black. It really brings out, kind of gives you a fake wood tone look or wood grain look. And I'm just literally going to paint with a baby wipe. You can water it down and use a paintbrush. but I just use it like this, and I just use a wipe. I also have gloved hands. Jason says, don't mix it. If you've ever seen any of those don't mix it recipes on TikTok, that's kind of what we're referring to. So I'm just literally using the wipe to wipe on this watered down, or this mixture of acrylic paint. And it dries super fast. And you can, like, if you get it, you think, oh, this is kind of a dark color, you can take a clean portion of your wet wipe and you can wipe some of that color off to where it's not so dark. So I don't know if you noticed that the tone changed a little bit. I happen to like that darker color. I'm also going to try to bring in a little bit more brown. You can do this with any color of paint. You can faux stain something with some red acrylic paint. You could do literally any color. You could do a nice whitewash with white acrylic paint and a baby wipe. This Jason says that makes a nice rich color. It's the combination of marbling the black into the brown, not mixing it, but marbling it in there. It kind of gives the different wood tone look. It's not just one color, then it's a couple of different, you get quite a few different color tones in there when you marble it together. So I'm just going to dry this real quickly with a hair dryer. Again, it doesn't take long at all. There goes everything. Just about ended up with a transfer in the water. I got that little corner. Okay, we're just going to let that continue to air dry. I'm going to lift it up so that both sides can kind of dry. So then we'll bring in our board. I'm going to get my wax. So because this is mostly raw wood, it's not sealed at all. In fact, the stain kind of pulled up a few of the a little bit of the grain. I'm going to go ahead and wax, and I'm just using the surface wax and the wax applicator. So I'm just going to wax the surface of my board just to kind of fill in any of the grooves and kind of also seal the board a little bit. It'll kind of seal in my finish. It'll make a smoother surface for my transfer. And it'll help keep my transfer from pulling up any of those wood fibers that I've kind of exposed and pulled up. Okay, so I'm going to use the back side. I'm just going to kind of buff that in. It creates kind of a shiny, smooth surface. And it gives you an arm workout at the same time. Okay, so I'll flip my board back over. Okay, it's probably pretty good. So everyone have a good weekend. Did anybody do anything fun? Okay, let's bring in my towel. Bring in my transfer. Sorry, my chair's squeaking. Okay, so I'm going to pull, because this is a slightly larger transfer, I'm going to pull the backer sheet away from the transfer. That way it doesn't fold in on itself. And because this is a new transfer, and because this is a wood surface, I want to fuzz the transfer a little bit. Then I'm just adding a small layer of lint to the back side, kind of knocking off a little bit of that adhesive temporarily. Once we clean it, it'll be all good and sticky again. I need to clean my fuzz towel. All sorts of weird things. Okay, one more time. And this, I forgot to tell you, this transfer is it's part of the Anywhere with You collection, and it's the home transfer. So there's there's kind of a travel journey collection, the Anywhere with You, and this one is part of it. So I'm going to bring this closer. Excuse me. I think this humidity is aggravating my whatever's left of my cold and sinus infection that I had a couple weeks ago. I'm going to bump this over to the left quite a bit because I want to add the map marker and probably some jute on this side. And this one says, "May your journey always lead you home." And I'm just going to use the end and the edges to line up my transfer. Oops. And I'm going to use a squeegee gently to kind of, help burnish. Maybe not my transfer down. Never mind, it's not sticking. There's a lot of silkscreen in these larger bold letters. I want to make sure it's good and burnished. Okay. And I think I'm just going to go plain Jane and use Dune. Let's see what this color. It's a little stiff. Not bad, though. I'm going to add a little bit of distilled water because mine's a little on the stiff side. You kind of want to, your consistency of your paste to be like yogurt or sour cream. I actually kind of prefer mine like cake frosting. I kind of like a thicker paste, but so this is our liquid, just basically liquid chalk in liquid form. It dries hard to the touch. It is semi-permanent. It is also water soluble. On wood, it's usually permanent on wood, but on chalkboards, glass, and metal, you can remove it. And most metal, you can remove it, and you can redesign on those surfaces. But because wood's porous, it tends to soak up the pigment in the paste. So you technically could probably sand this down and reuse it, but typically wood is one-time use. So I'm just using my squeegee. It will be how I apply the paste. And I'm going to put a generous amount on here. And with a fairly light hand, especially where there's a lot of silk screen, I'm just going to drag my squeegee down those silk screen areas. I also want to be careful because I do have, these are 4 different pieces of wood, and so I do have seams So I don't want to be so rough that I squish my paste hard through those uneven areas where those pieces of wood meet. So now I'm just kind of going back through, removing some of the excess paste and evening up, excuse me, my squeegee lines so that I have a smooth surface. Okay, so now I'm going to peel and reveal, which is my favorite part. I think touch up a few places right here. Where I have those wood joints, I missed a few little spots. I'm going to try to go slow in peeling this up. That way if I missed any spots, I can lay it back down. And you want to try to pull toward the ceiling so you're not stretching or silk screen mesh. Yeah, I missed a spot right there. And I'm just going to wet my finger and try to push some of that paste through. See if that helped. Yep. Zipper. Same way with my E. There were a few spots that didn't go through. Okay. I'm just going to lay that by my water tub. Over there. Okay, let's give it a dry. Jason says that's the striping. Something about a light paste on a dark surface. You know, like a black surface and white paste in this case. This is the brown version of that. So we'll put that to the side a little bit. Put my lid on. And then for the little map marker, I'm going to use the same technique. So I have my transfer here. I don't think I'm going to wax because I did a really good job of sanding it. So it's really smooth. So I'm going to wing it. Plus it's a small project. So I cut that kind of big. You can kind of see when you're lining these up, you can kind of see through your transfer, but if you hold it up, which I'm totally off, you can kind of see how you've got it lined up. Oh boy. Drop it down a little bit. gosh. No, it's too far to the right or the left. Just trying to get it somewhat even. I didn't cut the marker well. There's a few little odd spots. I kind of want to darken my candy apple up a little bit. I want more of kind of a rustic red. So we're going to do a little bit of color mixing. Hey, Bonita. She says sorry she's late. She was at Hobby Lobby. You're at my home away from home. No worries. We're just have a kind of a quick project this evening. I used my 5-gallon paint sticks. I did cut the handle end off. And I used the May Your Journey Always Lead You Home. Benita says exactly. Home away from home. And so now I'm just working on the little map marker piece that I'm going to attach to this side. But I'm going to darken up my candy apple a little bit. I don't need a whole lot. That's way too much. Boy, that bark is dry. Somebody remind me the next time I put in an order, unless I have it already. Nope. I need to order a new bark because this one is super dry. It gets the old, and it looks like cottage cheese. So because this is the old formula, I'm just adding a bit of distilled water to it. Oops, I spray my board. Bonita, did you find your Hallmark ornaments the other day? It's as good as it's going to get. Bonita, thanks. She says, Robin, you need to order a new jar of bark. Well, you can tell me that now, but it's not going to help when I put in an order. I won't remember that. I'll have slept. So I'm just adding a little bit of bark to see if I can darken up this red. See if it works a little bit. You found your ornaments. Did you go into Raised Rustic? That is exactly the color I was wanting. I'll show you the difference. This is just such a kind of in your face, kind of 70s grandma lipstick red. And I wanted a kind of a darker rustic red. Tell me, whose grandma wore this color lipstick in the 70s? Mine did. Okie doke. Let's grab our squeegee and our new little paint color we have. And then let's just pick it up with our squeegee. And then I'm just going to drag it down the silk screen area. Okay. I am a mess. I have brown paste everywhere. I'm one of those crafters that hates to have dirty hands. It's also why I don't garden. I don't like getting my fingernails dirty. Bonita says she did not go to Raised Rustic. She spent too much time and money at the Hallmark store, but you do have to go back to get an ornament that hadn't been released yet. So Rick said you could go then. Fun. Okie doke. There is our map marker. Put all my mess away. Okay, let's give this a dry. I haven't been there yet, but I perused their Facebook page, and I usually watch when she's live. But I do need to get over there. Okay. So there is our map marker. I do really like that color. I may have to order not only an extra bark, but an extra candy apple, and I could make my own color of that. Okie doke. So now you need to help me decide. I'm going to wrap some twine, of course, around the end here, but I can't decide. I don't think it'll look good to punch a hole through my map marker. So I'm considering putting a little D-ring either down here or right up here and hanging it from my twine bow that way. What do you all think? Punch a hole, put punched hole or D-ring in the comments while I add the twine to the edge. Scissors. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap my twine. Melanie says a D-ring. Hello, Melanie. Benita's asking if I can just glue it on top of my twine. I could. I just would be afraid of it coming off. Plus, I just, I like dangles. So, oops. I'd be afraid of it falling off. And it just doesn't dangle that way. Let's tie that towards the top. I'm just going to tie this in a tight knot. Stacia says punch a hole and use the twine. Okay, so let's get our little loopy bow ready. So I'm going to leave, not that piece. I hate when twine gets those little boogers on them, for lack of a better word. So I'm going to leave my tail, and I'm going to make my left bow, my right bow, my left, right. And I think I'm going to add a few more tails just for fun. Yeah. I just don't, yeah. I'm going to try the D-ring. I can always take it off if I need to, or cut a new one. I just don't know if I want to punch a hole in it. So I've got a little bit of power tack for longevity. And a little bit of hot glue for instant bond. I know some of you are probably screaming at me, no, don't do it. Okay. Except for, probably should have left a little, probably should have put it up a little higher. Let's grab our bow. I should have made longer tails. Let's not do that yet. Let's put our bow on. And then put this on. Melanie, where are you from, might I ask? I'm in central Kansas, as are most of the live viewers right now. Just curious as to where all the viewers are from. I'm just going to tie this tight. Ooh. And I'm just going to kind of let these fray. Maybe. Looking a little wild. Okay. That away. I think I got it how I wanted. Some of these little extra things away. So that is what here we have. We can kind of spread these out a little bit. So there is our, Bonita says that's absolutely adorable. I think so. It turned out exactly how I had it in my head. Cute little simple farmhouse, but says exactly what we all think. May your journey always lead you home. Jason says beautiful. Thank you. I just love when something turns out exactly how I had it in my head, because that doesn't always happen. There is our sign. May your journey always lead you home. Again, this is from the Anywhere With You collection. So there's about 2 or 3 different transfers in this collection. There's an A size, I believe there's a B size, and then this is the C size transfer. And I do have everything linked in the cart link. Bonita says, hi, Jason. I just want to go over a few little housekeeping things. Our Club Couture transfer for the month, it is just a little bit past the midway mark of the month. So there's a few weeks left to get this transfer, the Very Sweet Days of Summer. And that would get you enrolled in the Club Couture program. It's a DIY monthly subscription kit, and I've seen a sneak peek of August, and you really want to join because it is one of the cutest little transfers. And I might have bought something for my Club Couture members that go that accompanies that transfer. So, hint, hint, you might want to join. But this month's exclusive transfer comes with 3 paste singles. The colors are black, candy apple, and I think eucalyptus. I can't see it and I can't remember. But it is $19.99 a month. However, on August 1st, it will be increasing to $21.99 a month US. There is a 3-month minimum commitment to join, but you can cancel at any time after the 3 months. Also, as a club member, you get $5.99 flat rate shipping. Another caveat, though, on August 1st, there will be a slight increase. You will still get your $5.99 flat rate shipping, but it will only be on the first order of the month. So if you happen to have a month where you do multiple orders, your first order that you submit will be $5.99 flat rate shipping. Any additional order in that same month will be $8.99 flat rate shipping, which is the regular customer flat rate shipping, which is way better than what I have to pay for shipping. So it's a really good deal. Check the comments again. Benita, oh good, she was confirming. Yes, eucalyptus. For some reason that one's really hard for me to see. So on to the next one. Also, there are 6 summer savings kits available on my Chalk site, and I have the address down at the bottom of that graphic. So there are 6 summer savings kits. They are 30% off. As a Club Couture member, you do also get 40% off of those, so check those out. Those are under either the specials or the kits tab on my Chalk site, which is listed there on the bottom of the graphic. Also, Designer Access Pass launched on July 14th. So if you've ever considered joining a designer to get the 40% off retail or to get the products at a discount to make finished goods, this is your opportunity to join. There are 3 different ways that you can join. You can become a designer for $9.99 plus tax. That does not get you any product, but it does get you designership. If you want a little bit of product with your designership, you can do the Perks add-on package, which gets you the items in Graphic 2, and that is $59.99 plus shipping and tax. If you want a little bit more product, then you can do the Perks Plus add-on, and that gets you everything in Picture 2 plus the 9x12 8-in board, which is normally $40, and you can get that for $79.99. There's also a monthly $19.99 plus tax fee for your website that covers your free Club Couture transfer, that covers your back office. And then also as a new designer, you receive a one-time use 15% off coupon to stack on top of your already 40% off retail discount. So lots of great ways to enjoy the Chalk Couture products. Oops, hit the wrong button. Thanks for joining me this evening. I hope you have a great week. I should be live again on Wednesday at 7:45 p.m. Thanks again, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.